Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here, and of course I'm joined by author and economic analyst here at WAM, John Sneisen, and we're going to go into something quickly because John has this book on the ESF, the Exchange Stabilization Fund, and it's something that is quite rare. Not a lot of people know about this kind of information. We thought we'd bring it to you, and we're not going to do the full report today, but what we're going to do is we're going to talk about bail-ins, because long before the IMF was talking about bail-ins, back in the 90s, here we are, the ESF is talking about pushing bail-in regimes. And of course this is something that is affecting us all now, because we're watching the Canadian budget, we're watching all these places around the world, in Cyprus, so on, they're pushing this bail-in.
Italy, we just had a bank bail-in.
Exactly, yeah. And recently I know there's been a lot of stories finally in the news about Bill Morneau and Justin Trudeau pushing this bail-in regime, when we were talking about it quite a while ago. But we're going to go right into this right now. So John, what do you have here in this ESF book, which, by the way, the ESF has some of the most nefarious individuals you could imagine, the worst kind of globalists involved, and you can find their names in it.
I'll just go, like, after we actually did this, I'll just mention some of them, just so you know who is behind, like, and this is not DMF, but it's International Institution of Economics, which these guys are the biggest crooks in the world, and you'll see right away. But,
absolutely.
The people that coined the term bail-in, well, that was supposed to be in an article, Paul Calello, and like, he was the head of the Credit Suisse investment bank, and Wilson Irving, its former chief risk officer. They proposed the bail-in, and this was back in an Economist article back in January 28th, 2010. Okay, so that is the supposed inventors of bail-ins. Well, guys, you're wrong. They're not telling you the truth.
What year is this from?
This book is actually from 1999. It's probably from 1998. I think it's closer to 1998, actually.
Yeah.
But what's interesting here, I'll read a little bit of an excerpt from this book. The broader array of issues is not addressed in detail here. However, the study leaves to other studies the problem of designing international mechanisms to stabilize the financial system, to minimize moral hazards, and to bail in private financial institutions.
All right, so there we have it. That word right there, bail-in. And if you think a bailout is bad, a bail-in, that's just blind robbery of the people.
Yeah, exactly. A bail-in is when they actually take money out of your bank account when the bank fails.
Which is their bad, but of course, when your money's in a bank, it's not your money, it's a bank's.
Oh, exactly. That's where most people are getting this whole thing wrong, is they believe that the money is theirs when it's in their bank account.
Yeah.
It's totally wrong.
Huge scam.
It's a massive danger now, and then we're going to see bail-ins everywhere else too. Like, of course, it was Italy was the latest one, and Cyprus, they took a lot of money. These guys are coming after your money, and they don't care. I just want to mention, like, this a book on the ESF that I got this out of, the Institute for International Economics. You should look these guys up, because who sits here? This is in the board of directors.
I see a name, someone that I've confronted in the past on video right there. Conrad Black.
Yeah, Conrad Black is there. John Corzine, David Rockefeller, Paul A. Walker.
Paul Volker, the gigantic specimen that once led the Federal Reserve.
One of their honorary directors is Alan Greenspan.
Yeah.
And then the advisory committee is full of guys too. You got Krugman, you got Jeffrey Sachs, Lawrence Summers, Alan Wolf, and Robert Zoellick. All these guys are the worst of the worst, and the criminal globalist scum that exists in the world. And these guys are economists, trying to say that we should really destroy people, and they really hate us.
Well,
guys.
And just so you know, this book is called the Exchange Stabilization Fund, Slush Money, or War Chest. And this isn't an easy book to find, John. It was amazing that you got it.
I don't think it's an easy book. This comes out of a library. I don't know how legal it was that it came out of that library. It looks like it was from a library in DC or somewhere.
But go into a bit of what they're talking about.
It's actually withdrawn from the Steen Library, SFASU.
So go into a bit of what they're talking about with the bail-in, what their intentions are. I mean, we know what their intentions are. It's to rob us blind and basically enslave us in debt. But what do they claim?
The reason why they were talking about bail-ins here is because they see the financial system as very unstable. They need a global, bigger entity. Like right now, they were talking about here in this book in the 90s. about how the Exchange Stabilization Fund was contributing together with the IMF. They work together with the IMF and the Federal Reserve. It says they're in cohesion. So all these guys are out there manipulating everything.
Absolutely.
And they used special drawing rights as one of their main factors. And they were looking at how can they make sure that these financial institutions get saved without getting outrage from the population, from the taxpayers' bailouts that the government is on the books for. Well, they decided maybe it's good that we take money from the holders in the bank, the shareholders as they call us. When you actually put your money in the bank, you're a bondholder, not a depositor, really.
Yeah, and these are the same scumbags, by the way, that claim that they're helping the people, the total left of centric, centrally planning globalist scum that claim that, oh, well, this is for the poor, except for the fact is the poor don't understand, most people, I would say, it doesn't even just go for the poor, it's the rich, anyone, most people don't understand the terminology that they use because it's made that way so people don't understand it, because that way they don't understand the monetary system, and that way they're more easily enslaved by debt, and then it's that problem, reaction, solution kind of a mentality where they're pushing something saying it's for the poor, but it causes the problems that lead to the solutions, that cause the problems over and over again.
Dialectic, right?
Yeah, wash, rinse, and repeat, people. And just going into the bail-in quickly, because it's such a prevalent issue, where do you think this is going to lead to? Because of course this has been planned for a long time, and I feel like now more than ever it's being pushed. So how long do you think until they're going to start taking out of bank accounts?
Well, it all depends on which banks goes bad first. So I think Italy is going to see more of it. I think, of course, the southern states in Europe. I think in general, I think everybody's going to see it at one point when the financial crisis really hit and when they can't control it anymore.
Global problems are the problems of the globalists, and of course Canada even has it in our budget. Our most recent budget with Justin Trudeau and Bill Morneau.
Yeah, all the way back from 2013.
This is not good stuff, folks. This is something that we have to learn more about. Learn about bail-ins, because I think that's going to be coming far faster than major bailouts. Of course, there are bailouts happening right now, but bail-ins are far more dangerous, in my opinion, because what's going to happen is they're just going to rob people's bank accounts blind and leave people in absolute poverty, and there will be nowhere to go to because people all have put so much belief in paper money that what are they going to have? They're not going to have gold. They're not going to have silver. They're going to have nothing. That paper is going to line their walls as wallpaper, and the digital even worse because you can't even make wallpaper out of it.
Well, what you see today is the monetary architects, the paper monetary architects have taken us into the digital era, and it's so much simpler for them to manipulate now and do whatever they can to get this fake system of a fiat currency, even if it's going to be digital. It's a complete and utterly failed system, and
it always reverts to zero.
And they always take advantage of it. They always, want to, print too much to benefit themselves and all their other friends, the big globalists, and they're going to destroy it. It's
Absolutely.
No matter what. It doesn't matter how smart you think these people have become. They're just still have the same beliefs as the scumbags that created it back in 1023, or even in the Roman Empire. All that, they
just over and over again, create IOUs, have way less gold than they have IOUs, cause runs on the banks, cause absolute panic, and then even worse with just plain paper money, where they base it on absolutely nothing, and then it ends up in the gutter, and so do the people that have it and own it, and it is not going to be good people. And can you pass me that book 1 second there, John? We are going to do a full-fledged report on this. It's not easy. John has been going into it like crazy. The terminology in here is ridiculous, and it's meant to not be understood. But the fact is, this is the plan of the globalists, and the ESF is a monolithic, disgusting cult of globalist scumbags.
And it's hidden. It's hidden. It's a hidden entity that you never hear anything about. Even the most prevalent people out there, I rarely talk about the EMF. There's only a couple of few that mention it. And of course, Mr. Rob Kirby, I want to thank you for piquing my interest, because this book has been the best piece of trash I ever read. Yeah,
absolutely. And Rob Kirby woke me up to what the ESF was as well. And I remember when we first interviewed him, it was all over the comments. Ask him about the ESF, ask him about the ESF. And we will be asking him more about the ESF in the near future when we do talk with him again. But until next time, just keep looking into the ESF, look into bail-ins, understand how to keep yourself safe as an independent, free human being. Food, water, shelter, and sound money, people. Stay away from the hand of the government. The government does not care about you. They only want to plunge under your free will, and it's up to you as independent individuals, human beings, to stand up to it and say, we're not going to take that, we're going to stand up for ourselves, and we're going to be free, and we're going to take care of ourselves, because the more dependent we are on the state, the more they drive us into the ground, the more debt enslavement we're forced into, and it's a disgusting practice that's been going on for now thousands of years, and it's about time that we learn from our mistakes, good people. So thank you, John. This is Josh Sigurdson, John Sneisen, signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.